through storms, unshaken, unbowed. From trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it loud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch. Power to the people, time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him, he's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules, a new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way. Say goodbye to all chains, embrace the new. A financial revolution, fair and true. For the workers, the dreamers, side by side. In Trump's new era, let freedom rise.
Welcome, everyone, to the Crazy Kryptonaut channel. I am Zester, and thank you guys so much for joining on the first Trump day post-Trump's second inauguration. Definitely a very, very exciting one for the country, an exciting one for the world, and in particular, a very, very, very over-the-top exciting day for everyone in the crypto space, because we finally have the first United States president that is pro-cryptocurrency in office, and we're starting to see some things change, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be jumping into what has already happened, because with all the major announcements coming out of the Trump White House, the crypto things have kind of been getting pushed under the rug. So we're going to cover some of those today. But first off, I'm going to say hello to everyone out there and see if we've got any good questions. What is up to Kukla and Mile High Trish? Thank you guys so much for all the assistance you provide the community moderating. It is invaluable. Thank you guys so much, and hope you're having an awesome one. What's up, Gary? Coming in at number 1 on the like button today. Looking forward to the jokes as always, Gary, and hope that you're doing well. What's up, Linda? Welcome there, Samuel Horley. Glad to have you, man. Very, very glad to have you. Welcome, Crazy Chester. We got a pretty packed house here today of folks excited about crypto. What's up, Mary Jones? How are you doing? And a very, very happy Trump Day to you as well. Howdy there, Nature Girl. Nature Girl says, hi, everyone. Looking forward to today's show. XRP has been up and down for days, just like my emotions at the moment. Well, Nature Girl, I hope on the emotional front that things are going to get a little bit calmer for you. I would say on the XRP front and the crypto front, I would not expect a reduction in volatility to occur anytime soon. But yes, XRP has been up and down. The whole market has been particularly up and down over the past couple of days. And we'll talk about that a bit. I think folks are kind of exaggerating the problems, or maybe overreacting on a lot of things. At least that's what I'm seeing from a lot of folks in the space at this point. It's kind of like everybody in crypto, and every person who had money in crypto had bought into things and was just under this assumption that the second Trump got into office, we were all just heading straight to the moon. But there's a lot more that has to be done. And yes, there were a lot of folks that were really expecting a crypto executive order on day one, and we didn't get it. And I think that a lot of that volatility we're seeing, Nature Girl, really comes around that. Everybody and their mother out there was expecting that we were going to get some kind of crazy executive order on day one that was going to completely change everything about how the United States viewed crypto but we know that there's a bit more to it. As we've talked about before, we've got the Bitcoin Act of 2024 legislation presented by Cynthia Loomis that would establish the United States strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies. Those are things that are going to take time to occur, unfortunately. And the reason behind that is very, very logical in the United States. Remember, the Bitcoin Act is going to require the United States of America to appropriate funds in order to purchase cryptocurrencies. That means we have to talk to the House of Representatives. For those with a little civics update, remember, when it comes to any bill or any legislation that requires funding or new funding, that has to go through the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives holds the purse strings, so they say. And so in that way, we are going to have to wait for some of the really big ones through legislation. What we have already gotten, though, I think is particularly exciting, and I think is more than enough for the average person who's viewing crypto to be very much under the belief that Trump is upholding his promises to the community. He's going to provide crypto frameworks. He's going to provide regulations that make sense, and he's going to stop people from continually shutting down innovation in the sector. Those are things that have already occurred. That's actually what we're going to jump in today. They just didn't get the same kind of publicity that an executive order would. All right, though, let's finish off some hellos before I jump in. What's up, Kathleen? Kathleen Shasky. Hi, all. A couple days ago, I remember Zester mentioned a soft wallet on Mark Z's show, but I can't remember what it was called. Kathleen, if it was a soft wallet, and for those that are curious, a soft wallet is an online wallet. That means that you effectively need the internet, and some part of your information is being held on the internet when you have a soft wallet. My recommendation is always MetaMask. If we're talking Ethereum, it's MetaMask. If we're talking Solana, well, I'd probably choose Phantom Wallet. But keep in mind, these have a different application than a hardware wallet. Soft wallets or online wallets, hot wallets, are connected to the internet. And that means there is a greater risk of someone possibly being able to get some of your information while you're in the process of using your wallet. That does not mean they're bad. That's the same way that someone is far more likely to be able to steal $100 from you if you walk around Walmart's parking lot with $100 in your pocket. It's the same idea. MetaMask, Phantom for Solana, these hot wallets or soft wallets are very important, very usable, but you have to keep in mind what they're used for. And so, Kathleen, if it's Ethereum, totally go the MetaMask route. And that includes on your phone or on the computer. Personally, I recommend not doing your crypto trading on a phone, but many people do, and it always tends to work out. And so I just prefer the computer. I feel like it's a more structured use and that it's a lot easier to go, okay, now I'm turning off my wallet. Now I'm shutting down my crypto apps. Now I'm locking my accounts. Whereas with the phone, you're just going about your day. But Kathleen, those would be my two answers on that one, depending on what you're trying to use it for. If it's Ethereum, and really MetaMask is the only wallet I use if it's Ethereum based. I'm not interested in Trust Wallet. I'm not interested in any of them. MetaMask has been around for the longest time. It was an open source project actually built by a group of MIT students. And yeah, I go with it. What's up, David? David says, good evening, everyone. Hello. And an apple for me. Thank you so much, David, for the apple. And I hope you're having an awesome Trump day. What's up, Captain Spiffy? Gary, see, yep, our federal crypto reserves are definitely going to be waiting for that bill to pass. But, and Gary, there is an important part here that is in Trump's power, and I am expecting to occur very, very, very soon. Trump promised to shut down all sales of Bitcoin that is currently held by the United States government. That is within his power as the executive. And so I am literally waiting for that executive order to come through any minute type deal. That's the thing that he can go ahead and do. We can go ahead and have a United States strategic reserve of cryptocurrencies. We can take all the cryptocurrencies that have been taken from criminals by United States law enforcement agencies over all of the time that crypto has existed. We can take all of that and we can move it over to the United States Treasury. And that is within his power. That executive order better happen soon, because I'm counting on it. And I don't mean that I'm counting on it in a way of expecting it to increase prices or anything, which it will do. Undoubtedly, it will increase prices for everyone's crypto. But I'm expecting it because, to me, that's the promise that Trump made. He made that promise, and that's within his power. The bill to officially establish by U.S. Congress the United States Strategic Reserve of Cryptocurrencies, that is not within his power to do with public taxpayer dollars. So that part, I understand. The immediate halting, Gary, I think that's going to happen soon. I think we're going to get our essential strategic reserve, but we're going to have to wait before we start getting taxpayer dollars being spent on buying crypto. And I also think that the External Revenue Service that Trump announced would probably make the most sense to be used to fund that, because that would be a direct way of taking essentially tariff dollars from other nations and putting them directly into the benefit of the American people. And so we'll have to see, Gary, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm expecting us to get an executive order soon. I just don't think it's going to be the end all. What's up, Hot Rod Tilly, and welcome out of the ashes. Hey, how's it going? Richard Gregory saying, dang, this new time is throwing me off. It is, Richard. It's throwing me off as well, but it seems to work very well for a lot of folks. It makes the job easier in terms of being able to move over to the next show, and it makes it infinitely easier for me. And so selfishly, I must say, Richard, that in a large way, it just takes it out of the hours where typically I would get scheduled on calls or things like that, which would result in me canceling the show. And I really hate canceling the times. And so by moving it up an hour, well, it's made it a lot easier to make certain I'm here. But my apologies, Richard. I'm certain with time that it will get a bit easier. All right. Welcome, Savvy. Welcome. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to miss some, but I'm running through looking for any questions, and then we're going to jump into the news. We are going to jump straight in. Oh, no. Kukla, thank you so much for making certain I get this in. Please remember that the content in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes and not intended to provide professional financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, Kukla, for ensuring I get that one in. Mo, is the Trust Wallet a good one? I would highly recommend never using Trust Wallet. I do not trust Trust Wallet. I have had to try and help people save their crypto off of Trust Wallet so many times that I cannot even remember. Esmo, I would highly recommend not using it. Are you in danger if your crypto is on Trust Wallet? No, you are not in danger. And so when I give these recommendations, it's because I use crypto so often. It's not because necessarily Trust Wallet is horrible. It's not. It's not horrible. I just don't like it. And Trust Wallet is owned by CoinMarketCap, which CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. Binance is and has been and seems to even be remaining on the outskirts of acceptability in the United States government, and that's the owner. And so Trust Wallet is owned by Binance. Just a little fun fact for the day. As is CoinMarketCap. That's the reason I do not use CoinMarketCap. We always check our prices on CoinGecko. It's pretty much just because of who owns the company. But Esmo, don't worry. You're not in some kind of immediate danger, but I would recommend getting off of Trust Wallet if I were you. I've just experienced too many people that have had issues transferring their wallet, or they've had issues when they lost their phone and they got a new phone, and now the Trust Wallet doesn't work and it's not moving over. And 99.9% of the time, it's user error. But I feel like Trust Wallet kind of helps people make that mistake. Trust Wallet does not force you to write down your secret passphrase. Trust Wallet does not force you to go through and do the security checks that you should. In that way, Trust Wallet is very easy to use because you just open it up and it all goes. But it also has some downsides. And the downsides occur when a problem happens. Until a problem occurs, your Trust Wallet's great. I have Trust Wallet on my phone. I've used it before, but I don't keep any money on my Trust Wallet. I just use it when I need it. It's a tool. Hot Rod Tilly, do you notice when gold and silver go up, cryptos go down? Well, that's actually an interesting one, Hot Rod Tilly, because it seems to go back and forth all the time. Sometimes that's the case, and sometimes it's not. What we have seen, Hot Rod Tilly, is that the folks that invest in stocks are also very heavily invested in a lot of cryptocurrencies. Gold and silver seems to be generational, as we already know. And so in that way, we have to keep in mind, gold and silver primary owners are in older generations. The vast majority of precious metal holdings are held by older generations. And in that way, crypto is held primarily by younger generations. And so to me, it makes a lot of sense. They serve essentially the same purpose. They're designed to counteract inflation. They're designed to counteract rampant governmental spending. They both have the same goal, but they're held by very different people. And so in that way, to me, it makes sense. And of course, these are not universal truths. Not all gold is held in older generations. Not all crypto is held in older generations. But when you look at the statistics will tell you that the vast majority of each is being held by very different demographic groups that have very different goals. Because when you start to look at that youth generation that's sitting in cryptocurrency, they are literally betting on crypto, making them be able to reach a point of retirement, a point of financial freedom, and that's what they're looking for. Whereas a lot of folks in gold and silver are viewing gold and silver as, yes, we may see a large price increase depending upon how the government starts to view precious metals, which we know part of the Bitcoin Act of 2024 actually addresses that. But gold and silver, by the vast majority of financial institutions, is viewed as a way of managing and conserving wealth, not of generating massive wealth. So I think there are a lot of other things going on there, Hot Rod Tilly. That one and that question would probably take many shows focused solely upon it to really dig deep into all the different factors that are influencing it. What I would say is that, Hot Rod Tilly, when we see inflation rise, we tend to see gold and crypto and silver rise at the same time. Other events seem to have a different effect, but inflation seems to have a pretty much a direct correlation. Gary 7, liberals are moving to Canada because Trump won. But doesn't Trump want to buy Canada? Hey, what's up, campfires and sunset? No, I'm ready for my XRP to head to the moon as well. I am ready for it. Yep, Win Moon, win Lambo. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Captain Spiffy, who bought the cryptocurrency that Biden sold? Did it sell? That's a great question, Captain Spiffy. No, it did not all sell. They were unable to push through the approval for sales of some or most of the Bitcoin before Trump took office. Now, we do have questions in regards to accountability that need to be answered. We do not know where all that crypto is currently at. We don't know where it's all at right now. We just know that the United States government never approved the sale. But that doesn't mean that I can exactly tell you what shelf it's currently on. And so, Captain Spiffy, I'm expecting there to be a fairly in-depth investigation into that one. I have found most all of it, but there are still there are still a few transactions that are being held on Coinbase Exchange that we can't verify if they're still on the Coinbase Exchange because of the way exchanges work. When you deposit crypto to an exchange, what you essentially do is you say, hey, I have 1 Bitcoin. And remember, I have 1 whole Bitcoin. And you give it to them. And they put it in to a big pile of Bitcoin. And so you have 1 Bitcoin, but there's a million Bitcoin sitting in the pile. And all that Coinbase knows is that you're owed 1 Bitcoin. That's it. They don't know which Bitcoin because it doesn't really matter. But they know you are owed a Bitcoin. And in that way, it becomes very difficult to track transactions when they enter into centralized exchanges. Because I know the United States government under the Biden administration sent Bitcoin to a wallet, but I don't know which Bitcoin is theirs. And so that's the same reason, to give everybody a little bit of an explanation on XRP and XLM. That's the reason when you deposit XRP to a centralized exchange, that there is a memo or destination tag required. Because when I send XRP to an exchange, I actually am designating it as mine. Those are my XRP coins. Whereas when I send Bitcoin, I'm not designating that that's mine. I'm just saying I want the same amount back. And so that's actually kind of ties into a lot of folks' problems when they send XRP and XLM to an exchange. They'll very often forget the destination tag or the memo, and then it won't show up in their account. The reason is because the blockchain works differently. And there's wins and losses. There's better for each one. Oh, yeah, Nancy H. Buy Greenland with crypto. Let's go. Let's go for it. I'm ready. I am ready for American expansionism. I am absolutely ready for it. I strongly believe that we are going to actually see the amount of land technically controlled by the United States increase during the Trump administration, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Joyce Anderson, how to buy XRP, how to store it. Question coming from the crypto illiterate. Joyce Anderson, do not worry. It's not that bad. Go to Coinbase.com, create an account. At that point, I would highly recommend connecting a bank account to Coinbase. After doing so, transfer the amount of money you would like to buy crypto with, in this case, XRP, transfer that to your Coinbase account, and then buy XRP. Now, in terms of storing it, Joyce, until you get to a large amount of XRP or a dollar value that you want to make certain you personally are in charge of, I would leave it right there. I'd leave it right there on Coinbase. Now, I would keep in mind that in the long run, you need to store it off exchange. And when you do, I would highly recommend purchasing a Ledger hardware wallet. There is a link in the description that will actually get you some free Bitcoin for your purchase. It supports the channel and it helps you. If you buy it without the link, you're just going to pay more. And so that's the reason I love the way that Ledger works on that, because everybody wins. The person buying it saves money and you support the channel. So if you buy it without that link, you're only gonna lose out on free money. But Joyce, that would be the general process. First thing, Coinbase. Second thing, connect an account, make the purchase. Third, once it reaches a point where it's valuable enough that you strongly are concerned about keeping it safe, buy the hardware wallet, transfer it over to the hardware wallet, and then it will be yours forever. What's up, Weezer? Welcome, Deborah. How are you doing? All right. La Filet de Assurances. CZ of Binance seems like a shady character. For those that are not aware, CZ is the creator or one of the founding members of the Binance exchange. Binance is, to this day, still one of the largest exchanges on the planet. And Binance is probably the best exchange on the planet for actual usability. CZ, by being the best, by being the largest, he got the most attention from regulatory bodies during these previous administrations, including the first Trump administration. And I would say CZ is someone that I do not trust, but I deeply respect, because he is, well, extremely good and has been extremely good at keeping Binance alive. And now he is no longer the head of Binance. He was removed during court hearings, I think over a year ago now. So CZ is no longer in charge of Binance, but I would say he's kind of like one of those Wolf of Wall Street types where you don't like them, but you got to respect them to a degree. They figured things out. I think he kind of fills a category of that nature where I'd love to have a conversation with him, but I wouldn't trust him with 1,000 of my dollars anymore. But I'd love to have a conversation with him and pick his brain. Oh, all right. Robbie Bucks, Esther, do you think XRP could be used by the Treasury? Trump and Vance seem to be up to something with Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, Brad Garlinghouse has had multiple meetings with the Trump transition team and with Trump himself. The rumor is that XRP, USDC, and other cryptos may be included inside of the United States Strategic Crypto Reserve. And so no longer would it be a strategic Bitcoin reserve, it would be a strategic crypto reserve. The Bitcoin Act of 2024, the one that I very often reference, does not mean Bitcoin. The Bitcoin Act of 2024, Bitcoin is an acronym. It's designed for digital currencies. XRP is a digital currency. It would make a lot of sense that XRP would be included in the strategic reserve. And so in that way, I do expect that as well, Robbie. I think XRP, I think Ethereum, I think USDC, maybe Solana will be included in the quote unquote crypto reserve. And from that point on, not certain who else is going to get added into the crew. Maybe someday we see an XLM. Maybe someday we see a Dogecoin. Really not certain, but those are the ones that are expected at this point, Robbie. XRP, USDC, Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Those are the current ones that are on the expectation list. And those are the ones where the Trump administration has met with the teams to discuss crypto. Also, Some folks are saying maybe Tron will get in there, which if Tron gets in there, I'm going to write an angrily worded letter to somebody that no one will ever read. But people are apparently thinking Tron might be included because of Justin Sun's contributions to the Trump campaign. All right. Trying to catch up, trying to make certain I do not miss anybody. But yes, we're going to go ahead, most likely, guys, and jump into our news. Yes, let's go ahead and go for it, guys, because looking at the time, we've got our first 30 minutes. We're going to try and make certain that our Wednesdays, our Mondays, and most likely our Fridays stick to the 30 to 45-minute time frame. That way, everybody out there gets a break, mods, and everyone before jumping into any other videos. But all right, where are we at? Currently sitting at Bitcoin sitting at $103,822, I should say. We've got Ethereum 3,240, XRP $3.17. Doge, surprisingly, with all of the excitement around the Department of Government Efficiency, still sitting at 36 cents. What we can go into very quickly here, though, is when we check out the chart. In the past 24 hours, we have had a very, very odd chart ongoing for XRP, and it only gets odder when you hit the 7 days, odder even still when you hit the month. But we've seen a lot of volatility, and a large portion of this volatility was kind of the whole buy the rumor, sell the news part. And so in that upcoming point, the 19th, going into the 20th, we did see a pretty major drop. We saw the same drop occur over on Bitcoin, to my knowledge, as well, where we just saw a lot of drop on the 19th. Those were a lot of folks selling off because prices had gotten so high with the expectation of Trump coming into office. And then we saw another sell off heading into the 21st because we didn't get an initial executive order out of Trump. And so the charts to me make a lot of sense. I'm still expecting us to continue looking at extreme volatility even after the executive orders and announcements. Still most likely going to crypto has always been volatile. It's most likely not going to stop being volatile overnight just because of Trump. All right, though, let's talk about the things Trump is doing. And these are the things I was talking about. This is what's important that is not an executive order, but is what we were expecting out of Trump's campaign promises. Trump's SEC has immediately launched a crypto task force to develop clear regulations for the industry. The SEC announced that acting chair Mark Uyeda has launched a crypto task force aimed at developing a comprehensive and clear regulatory framework for crypto assets. And this is in sharp contrast to the Biden administration. This, of course, is only going to be temporarily maintained by Uyeda. Uyeda is holding the chair until Paul Atkins gets through the confirmation process. And so in that way, we don't have Trump's guy yet in charge, but he is going ahead and beginning the process. This is what we were expecting. These are the things that we need. We need for the Trump administration to figure out and set forth a clear regulatory framework. With that, people will finally be capable of unleashing innovation because we're already seeing that. Crypto tokens are skyrocketing in regards to how many new ones are being launched because finally, folks are capable of going out and launching their crypto projects without worrying that the black coats and the blacked out SUVs are going to suddenly show up knocking on their doors. And well, that's the last time you're going to hear from them. And so, yes, Bitcoin gains as the United States SEC gives crypto its first policy win. And so Bitcoin did hit a record of $109,000 on Monday, and then jumped back up to $108,000 with the announcement of the SEC's regulatory group. And that way, we're seeing the beginning of the Trump administration policy on crypto. All right, though, we do have one thing that Trump did, and that has been kind of souring the mood. Many crypto investors, and I would have to agree, I'm somewhat a part of those, are not happy about the Trump meme coins. That would be the Trump token and the Melania token that released just prior to Trump's inauguration. Many folks are not happy about that work in the space. We feel as if it kind of, well, it insubstantiates the innovation. It makes the industry look bad, because for many folks, that's the only way they know crypto. They don't think or know about how blockchain technology could revolutionize the world. They don't know that. They know Doggy Coin or Trump token. And in that way, many folks that have spent a lot of thousands of hours working on developing next level innovations are not the happiest about these. I would say, for me personally, while I'm not the most happy about them, I'm not unhappy. They are a use of blockchain technology. They are interesting. But I think that when you're playing in the top leagues, you don't bring yourself down to a lower level. And in that way, many folks in the crypto space are not happy about it. I would be curious to see what everybody else out there thinks. What are y'all's opinions on Trump meme tokens? For me, it's let's just not do that. But also, if I had been sitting at a computer last Saturday, I totally would have bought in. And so maybe I'm just upset that I wasn't sitting there ready. Who knows? All right, moving on to the next one, though, guys. We're going to speed through the rest of our news and let everybody get a break before we jump further along. Trump pardons Silk Road dark web market creator Ross Ulbricht. This is something we had talked about far in the past. And the reason is because Ross Ulbricht is a very much a libertarian, and he was the creator of the marketplace on the dark web known as the Silk Road, which was used to sell illicit drugs, and all kinds of other criminal activity was conducted on the marketplace. The argument was he created an innovation. He created a technology. People chose to use it for criminal activity. The argument is it's not your fault if you create something and then it's used for malicious acts. It's your fault if you use something to commit malicious acts. The reference I always use for this one is Nobel. The Nobel Peace Prize is named after the man who invented dynamite. He believed that the dynamite would be used to create amazing infrastructure projects, allow for railroads to go through mountains, allow for new higher levels of construction that would benefit all people around the world. That's what he believed. Ultimately, his invention was used for horrible things. We still named the Peace Prize after him. And in that way, it's kind of the same argument here. Ross Ulbricht created something that many people used. They used it for criminal activities. He benefited from people using it for criminal activities, in the same way that countless other benevolent inventors created things and then benefited from the way they were used, even though it wasn't what they made them for. And so for many folks, this is a contentious pardon. I can see why it was a contentious pardon. I absolutely can see why. But hey, I would have to agree with the general sentiment. He did not ever design it to be used for that. It just was. All right. U.S. court overturns tornado cash sanctions in a pivotal case for crypto. Tornado Cash is a crypto mixer. What is a crypto mixer, you may ask? A crypto mixer is essentially a big pool of crypto. And all that crypto is being exchanged back and forth, all automatically, but all constantly changing in the way that it's moved. And what you use it for is you put your crypto in, and then it pops back out to you, but no one can track it. And so it's a privacy tool. It's used essentially to obfuscate where your crypto came from. You put your crypto in, it goes around in the giant tornado of crypto cash, and then it pops back out, and congratulations, your crypto is now free and clear. No one can figure out where it came from. And so it's been used by malicious actors. It's been used by people who stole crypto from folks. And that's why it came under the view of the United States government. And now we're finally seeing it get its day in court. And that has resulted in a massive increase in the price of Tornado Cash. And so Tornado Cash today, you'll actually see, is right here in the top gainers, up 124% today. Needless to say, the news was particularly positive. It went from $8 to $25 in a matter of hours following the announcement. And this is viewed as another big win for privacy, because the argument was that it was not your right to have that degree of privacy on the blockchain or with your money. They were arguing that it was only used for money laundering. And turns out, well, the U.S. court overturned that ruling and said that Tornado Cash serves a viable and usable service. They provide a viable and usable service, a legal service. And so this is just a continuation of what really we're already seeing happen. We're seeing Trump pardon the Silk Road. We're seeing the SEC finally get some type of idea of what they're supposed to do. And we're seeing U.S. courts start to overturn a lot of the decisions that have been held against crypto companies. And so for me, I view all of this as a huge win. I think that I'm expecting some bigger wins in the coming days. And so actually something that you'll see that I've had up here on the screen the whole time, I am sitting here and constantly clicking that refresh button on the White House executive orders page and memo page. And I am just waiting to see that crypto announcement come out. But not yet at this point. We have seen new announcements since the 20th. We've actually had, and so we've had what? 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like the exact same one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 executive orders or memos come out since, or 9 orders or directives come out from the Trump White House since the 20th. I am still expecting to see one very, very, very soon come out on crypto. But I don't think that it's going to be the final be-all, end-all executive order, because we do need it to actually be voted on by the House of Representatives. It needs to be passed by Congress. We need that. That's the right way to go about it. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for joining. For those that are curious on the White House page, because I saw a question or two come in, there it is. It's in chat. That's the link to actually be able to keep up with announcements coming out of the White House. I highly recommend, when you are sharing news or information about the things Trump is doing, share them from direct sources, share them from whitehouse.gov. That is the best way to counter the narrative that it's going to come at us from all sides in regards to left-wing media or the mainstream bias. The best way to do it is to make certain that you don't just go and get it from a YouTube video. You go directly to the horse's mouth. I would highly recommend, folks, share from there, even if it's not crypto, just everything that you can find. That's the point to share it from. Make certain that we overwhelm the internet with facts. Thank you guys so much for being here on the first and most blessed of Trump days, post Trump's second inauguration. Love you all so much. And I will see everyone over at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the original Mark Z for Whiskey and Wisdom, which I'm very much looking forward to a celebratory Whiskey and Wisdom this week. So, peace, guys.